Let's kick off the best from the West on this Tuesday afternoon here on SEN Track. It's great to have your company wherever you may be listening on your local SEN Track dial, the SEN app, with one of the very best trainers in the West, Justine Erkelens, and she joins us now. Hello, Justine. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, hi guys. How are you?
Good, thank you. Now, the fields for the Bunbury Cup aren't far away, but Own the Queen will be representing your stable, and I thought she was very good there the other day.
Yeah, I was really happy with her the other day. She was just a bit short on that run because she, decided to try and buck the saddle off the start before. So, no, she'll be fit for the run.
Has this been her main aim, this preparation, the Bunbury Cup? Obviously, there's a few cups coming up, but was this always at the back of your mind that this would be a lovely race for her?
Yeah, we were sort of planning on her not having such an interrupted prep. So this race actually wasn't on our radar. She was sort of going to be going to the paddock now, but this is her last start. Yep. We want to try and give her a spell and see how she'll run in the winter. Mm-hmm. But no, she should be good for the run.
So you got those feature middle distance races in the winter, so you'll aim her up at those races?
Yeah, I think we'll give that a go and see how she runs in the wet. I think she'll be fine.
How good is she?
Yeah, she's a little bit untapped. Like we've had a bit of a really interrupted prep. This prep, it's been sort of hard to deal with, but we just get through it and we'll put her out for a little bit and get to the next prep.
So obviously she has had not much luck. Is she a difficult horse to train? Is it obviously she's done a few things wrong, or what? So how is she frustrating in your eyes there, Justine? Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, she's actually really nice to train. She's a lovely, quiet horse, and she does everything you ask. Like this preparation, was just the first couple of starts, we just had real terrible barriers, couldn't get runs. She's still running a couple of great races. And then in the Latrice, it was just a real little saddle, and she's got wide with her, and it just, because she jumped so well, it shifted back, and she just wanted to buck. She just didn't like it, just shifted on her back. It's just been a little bit interrupted. So just small things, nothing really by her own fault, but it's just things that happen.
What do you think her best trip is?
Yeah, well, I think it'd be around the 18, it's sort of hard to tell. I don't think she's a true and out 2,000 metre plus horse, like 2000's a sweet spot for her, I think. But she's pretty good at, a mile and something, I think, as well. So
yeah. Now, can she
quite handy around that area?
Can you turn the tables on a horse like Antique Miss?
Well, we'd have to, don't we?
Yeah. Do you think you can?
Well, I mean, being Bunbury, you sort of need to be up on speed on that track, so she can easily do that. I think that will suit her.
And we've seen it before. Yeah, she has led in her races before. I remember, I think it was the Starstruck. She was very good, and Bon Joy's a good one. Was too good for just on that day. But we've seen at Bunbury, it's worse than Gloucester Park these days. If you don't lead or you're on the fence, you're in a little bit of trouble, Justine.
Yeah, I've unless you've got a barrier or you're up on speed, you might as well stay home at that track.
Yeah. So
I think, it's just the way the pattern is. I don't go there that often because, unless you've got a front runner, you sort of might as well stay home and race somewhere else.
Yeah, and then on the Sunday, I was impressed by Machine Gun Gracie at a second race start. She had that wide gate to overcome there, but once she found the front for Sean O'Donnell, she looked like she just lengthened out beautifully. How good is she?
Yeah, well, she's a bloody nice horse. She's being out a bit wide is better for her because she's, a whopping 17 one hand she is. She's a big girl. But just another similar horse to Own the Queen. She's just really smart, really calm. A horse that just does everything. You ask her something and say, okay, let's do it. So she's really quite clever like that, but absolutely bred to stay. So a staying trip is definitely her go.
So talk us through how you got this filly. Obviously, she's by Machino out of Gracie May.
Yeah, well, I seen her at the stud and I just seen her and said, I really wanted to buy that horse because she just, for an Oaks and a Derby pass. So, and yeah, she was just lovely, big, scopy walking filly.
Yeah.
So brought her at the sales and we're here today.
So she debuted at Bunbury, then went to Pinjarra and won her maiden. And as I said, that was a big field on that occasion. She had that wide gate and Sean O'Donnell didn't muck around. He went straight to the front. And she led them a merry dance. Obviously, do you go to the 1,000 Guineas with her on Sunday?
Yeah,
Yes.
she's entered for that. We'll see if we get a start. I think she should. But,
yeah. Is she up to it this early on in her career? Are you confident that she can measure up to some of the better fillies?
Well, I mean, she's pretty. I think she's pretty nice. So if she doesn't get a start or run in that, I think there's a Class 1 1800 next week or something. So we'll just see what the field's like. Sean's she gallops with Own the Queen and she works really well with her. So I think she's quite talented.
Yeah, you can tell Sean liked her, I think, the other day. It was an arrogant victory, and I would imagine she'll go to the 1,000 Guineas, but you must be looking forward to her hopefully getting out to an Oaks trip.
Oh, yeah, she's just, if you look at her breeding, she's just bred to stay, and she's just a filly that's like that. She just eats up the ground, she's just so effortless. So, fingers crossed she goes down the path we're hoping she can do.
How many horses are you working at the moment, Justine?
We've always got about 18 working, just get the youngsters in and give them their education and everything like that. So always working 18. And
so the filly and the mare, so Own the Queen and Machine Gun Gracie, are they your best horses at the moment?
Well, Machine Gun Gracie is the maiden winner.
Yes. Well, she's exciting.
I mean, they still got to do it though, don't they?
Yeah.
It's different to a maiden to their next race, but be Own the Queen, I think, at the moment. She's nice horse, and hopefully we can kick off well on Saturday and let her have a break and do something in the winter.
Well, Justine, we wish you the best of luck. Hopefully the draws are kind to you and you do going to start with Machine Gun Gracie in that 1,000 Guineas, but looking forward to seeing what Own the Queen can do in a Bunbury Cup, and hopefully you can draw low there and run a bit of a race in that Country Cup.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thanks, Justine. We appreciate your time.
Thanks very much.
There's Justine Erkelens, very good trainer. So we're about to catch up with my little brother, the great Peter Hall, joins us here this afternoon. G'day, Pete. Thanks for your time.
Hey, you're the little brother. I'm the big brother.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're by size, you're little to me. Obviously, you're only a couple of years older than me. You're an evergreen veteran, Pete. I can't believe you're retired from race riding. Do you sit back there sometimes looking after the apprentices, and then you see we just had Justine Erkelens on the show. She obviously teams up a lot with Sean O'Donnell. Jagsy Turner's still going around. Fish Whiting still going around. Craig Staples, does he still ride?
Yeah, all my good buddies are still out there. Just Peter Nucky and myself that
retired,
that aren't riding at the moment. Yeah, but Jagsy Turner, he turned 50 the other day, so we all went out and had a couple of sherbets with Jagsy. So the old crew got together, which is always good.
Do you wish that you were still riding, or you're happy with your decision?
Oh, everyone's asked me that, and you know what? I had my time in the sun. I don't miss it at all. It's great going out to the races and on the big days at Ascot and watching all the good races, and you get a good buzz because you know someone's going to experience the same feelings I got when I won the good races. But working with these young apprentice jockeys is like the buzz I miss from riding. I get working with them. The other day I had young Bailey Webbs at his first race ride, and you go there for that, and they're so excited, and you remember when they ride their first winner, and just the joy that it brings them. You kind of get the same buzz out of it that you used to get yourself when you're winning.
What is the group like? The group of apprentices in WA at the moment, Hawley?
Yeah, no, we got a great bunch, and look, we've changed things the last few years. Shrin Lancaster, our new manager, come in, and we have a track rider program that goes for 12 months that I deliver. That's a Cert 3, and that's a prerequisite to picking out the new apprentice jockeys that want to join the program. And, we've got 12 out there at the moment riding trials. Young Bailey Webster, he's progressed to race riding, so we've got another 11. And plus we got the 10 out there race riding at the moment.
So that is exciting. It's healthy numbers, and the sport obviously needs these young jockeys coming through. Is it harder to attract young people to this game, basically being jockeys?
Yeah, it's a lot different. We really got to get out to the schools now and try and promote our industry and try and get people to, do a Cert 2 or Cert 3. But, we get the mechanical horse out to some of the schools, and I do notice, there's a lot more females now joining the track rider program. A lot of the boys are just too tall, and, like you say, Sean McGrady, myself, Sean O'Donnell, we all got daughters. So we just don't see as many boys anymore. But, it's mainly just making sure we promote our industry. And, the equestrian world is our biggest marketing ploy. Every young rider we get seems to be from that background.
So the schools open the doors to a program like yours to bring in the mechanic course and try and recruit young people into this beautiful game that we all love?
Yeah, look, it's very important, and we're still looking at bringing out the Cert 2 that they can do if they're not doing ATAR. So
just explain that to us, Hawley.
Yeah, well, everyone that wants to do a degree at university, like they do the ATAR subjects, if they're not doing that, they can do like a Cert 2 course, and that's like 1 day a week working experience. So if we get someone that's interested in the racing industry, like the 1 day a week, they go out and do a day at the stables, and it helps them complete some of their units for that Cert 2. So and a lot of these young equestrian riders that are doing our Cert 3, they're quite happy to just do the track rider program, but they all love horses, and once they get ride a horse fast work, they seem to be hooked and then want to join the apprentice jockey training program.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? And I guess the secret to all of this, and especially the way that you work with these young jockeys, is obviously having trainers that are willing to take them on. And it looks like we've got a group bunch of trainers that are looking after certain apprentices at the moment.
Yeah, well, look, we've got a NAR series coming up, and we got selected 4 young apprentices, one's indentured to Neville Parnham, one to Grant and Alana Williams, one to Steve Wolfe, and one to Adam Durant. They're great trainers and great characters of our game over here in the West. I'm sure everyone has heard of most of them. So, it's very important. It's very important. Obviously they do their qualification, but the on-the-job training they get just to teach them the foundation skills in the stables is really important, because they've got to learn how to be safe and how to be able to work with horses, day after day.
So tell us about the National Apprentice Racing Series, Hawley.
Yeah, well, look, it's exciting. We have Tasmania, Northern Territory, ourselves, Western Australia, South Australia and Queensland. We all host a meeting in our state, and we send a representative to all the other states and territories. It's a great concept. It's a great opportunity for the apprentices to ride in the state, represent their state, just to see what it's like to ride against other top jockeys, a little bit unfamiliar than their own jockey's room. So it's a great concept, works really good, and it's exciting for us jockey coaches as well. So
who's representing WA?
Well, we got Rosie Marnie. She's off to Tasmania in Hobart early March. And then we got Chanel Cooper, who goes off to Northern Territory. She'll be riding at Fanny Bay.
You'll be able to give her a few tips there at Fanny Bay. You were the king there, weren't you? Winning a couple of... How many Darwin Cups did you win?
2.
2, yeah.
2. Yeah, well, I took Rosie Marnie there last year, and she had 2 rides and rode 2 winners, and that was a great day. But yeah, look, I was really lucky, made some good contacts. So she got the ride work for Clarkey over there, the top trainer, and got a little bit of a feel for the track. So that worked really well. We have Luke Campbell. He's our captain. He's representing us at Ascot. And then young Zappin Johnson Porter, he'll be off to Murray Bridge in South Australia. And then Lukey Campbell and myself will be off to Queensland at the final leg at Doomben.
Beautiful. Lukey Campbell, has he still got a little bit of swagger about him?
Yeah, he's a little star.
Yeah.
He just kind of grew from his time over there in Melbourne. So, he comes out of his time just after the nursery. So, he's a little champ, and I went over. It's great to see him riding in Melbourne. He had the opportunity to ride winners at Sandown, Caulfield, Flemington. Yep. You just kind of can't beat that. But on that, I'm missing me mates Darren Gouchy and Alfie Matthews. We wish Melbourne would jump back on board again. I went over there with Holly Watson, race at Sandown. So, that was a great experience too.
I'll find out, ask some questions about that. Aaron Morrison and Racing Victoria. You would imagine if every other state's a part of this national apprentice racing series, especially for those young hoops, I think Victoria need to take responsibility. I think it'd be great for the jockeys, especially interstate, to go and race at Caulfield or at Flemington to give them opportunity to race in Victoria. So I'll see if I can get a few answers for you, Pete. I find that interesting.
That'd be great because it's a great comp, and it's all bragging rights too. Someone's going to win the NAS trophy right at the end. So, it's so good to have Melbourne on board, and obviously, Victoria and New South Wales. So, just the opportunity Holly had to ride over there at Sandown, one of the premier tracks. Usually you got to wait till you're 40, 50 years old to ride a good horse to be able to ride at Caulfield or Flemington or Randwick or Rose Hill. So, just having that opportunity, thanks to the nurseries, is one in a million.
Well, Pete, I think, as I said before at the top of the show, WA Racing are lucky to have people like yourself and Johnny Clade as mentors to these young hoops. You were terrific riders, superstars in the saddle, but better people. And you've seen it all in the game, so I would imagine you'd be able to educate these jockeys perfectly. And, we wish you the best of luck in that role, Hawley. And we appreciate you coming on here on the Best from the West. We'll have to get you on more often.
Yeah, no, thanks very much, little brother. And, give a big shout-out there to the Gouch and Alfie. So,
I will. I'll sort them out.
I miss their beautiful faces.
All right then, Hawley. Good on you, mate. Thanks for that. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
There's the great Peter. Peter Anthonisz joins us. In fact, he loves me that much, Pete. He sacked me after one show. He says, you're around. I'm going to bring in Miles Pfitzner. G'day, Pete. That's for Wednesdays in the West. How's things?
We've got to keep that show to a high standard, that's for sure.
I put you on the map. Don't forget about that. I'm only stirring. Hey, we've got 5 hot topics. We're going to run through these, all right? I want to see how good you are. You can't sit on the fence either. I want strong opinions. Clinton Johnston Porter, VW Pike. If you're Grant Alana Williams right now, forget about previous performances and reputations. Which jockey are you leading towards being your number one rider for the upcoming carnival?
Well, since Williams returned from injury, he's had 20 rides in WA and he's won 7. So
says it all.
Yeah. I mean, in the same period of time, I think Clint's had the best part of 43 rides or so, and has won 9 of them. So, look, it's obviously pretty competitive between the two of them. They're similar riders to a certain degree, but I think we've said it a few times. William Pike seems to be back in something near his best form, or at least as good as we've seen it over the last couple of seasons. He looks really hungry. He's getting horses to just land in the right position, and he seems to be throwing out a few different sort of tactical rides as well. So he seems to be well rounded at the moment, Pike.
And it was good to see anyway. Clinton Johnston Porter have a really good time of it when William was out anyway. He took the most of those opportunities.
Yeah, I think that's right as well. I mean, look, you're often looking at these jockeys, and obviously there's probably more of a thin wedge towards the top end in WA, but finding the right horse for the right jockey, you certainly find some horses that Clint can get the best out of, and I don't think even a few of the others of his rival jockeys can possibly get as much out of them when he finds a nice flow horse. So, look, for me, he is a very talented rider. I mean, they all are. You just also forget how young some of these guys are. Willie Pike's been around for, well before my time in entering racing. Clint's still quite a young man, as is Chris Barnum for that matter. So they're still, still developing and maturing as riders.
Yeah, and it's great to see William Pike. It's not quite the same without William Pike in the saddle when it comes to WA racing. Okay, this question for you. I had a chat to Liam Peters on Giddy Up's Western Whip Around today. Geez, he was impressive. He's an impressive young man, but he's started up a bloodstock business. Obviously, he's doing a lot of work for his grandfather, Bob Peters. But he was impressive with the way that he presented himself on Giddy Up this morning. And we went through a whole lot of different types of topics regarding what he's been doing at the moment in WA racing and his roles there with working closely with Bob and Sandra, but also he's taking a punt by himself and he's looking for some outside clients and he's making a good fist of that with Michael Grantham. But I asked him this question. Who's the most exciting horses in the Cerise and White at the moment in the West? And without hesitation, he said Antique Miss. Who'll be hard to beat in a Bunbury Cup on Saturday afternoon. Who's your most exciting horse in the Cerise and White, Pete?
It's a good question. I mean, you don't want to go off too early and say a 3-year-old because there's still. I heard Justine Erkelens before, and it's obviously it's easy to get excited by some of these 3-year-olds coming through. But look, probably the one for me is Diamond Scene. Didn't get to see that horse in a railway just gone because the horse was emergency. But look, came back in just sensational order. That first up win, I think, really sort of took a few of us punters by surprise, and the benchmark 78. And then obviously won the Lucky Grey, won the 88 Stakes, and lost the Perth Cup by half a length. So I think overall that horse seems to be a little bit of a late maturer, so to speak, 5-year-old now. But I think that horse has a little bit more to come. That last most recent preparation was clearly a PB for it, and it wouldn't surprise me to see it go to another level later this year.
Who's the Savabeel filly that they've got? She just escapes my mind. I did have her written down. She's
You're talking about Twilight Tale.
Yeah, that's it. Twilight Tale. That's it. She's my favourite. She's my favourite in the Cerise and White. I hope she starts in the 1,000 Guineas on Sunday. But those fields will be out shortly. Talking about sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, very much looking forward to seeing which horses lob in those races there on the weekend. Especially the 2 Sunday 3-year-old races, I think, are going to be highlights of this weekend for me.
Now, London's Image, talking about 3-year-old filly, she'll back up in the CUNY Stakes and she'll take on a horse like Treasure the Moment, who was so impressive there first up for Matty Laurie in those Geelong colours. The VRC Oaks winner of last spring. She was first up at Caulfield the other day. But London's Image, she was so good, I thought, there last Friday night at the Valley.
Yeah, I think you can make an argument pretty soundly that if she doesn't miss the start, and obviously this is a big if because she has been a little bit tardy away of late, but if she finds the front, I think you can make the argument that she wins that race and wins it quite comfortably. She was bolting for a run, and obviously that's not her go. Her go, to what we've seen recently, has been able to string these fields out to a certain degree and try and get everything off the bit and chasing. So I think she had plenty to come. She looked like a real coiled spring there at the Valley. And this race could well be suitable there on the weekend. Looks like a warm day forecast for Flemington. Look, depends on how much other horses or how much other speed's involved in this race. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if, Two Darn Lizzie's obviously on speed. That horse is nominated. But if London's Image draws wider, she can obviously cross them all. And I think it's actually a pretty suitable race, just looking at a lot of these horses. There's not too much else in terms of speed there on pace. And, a horse like Treasure of the Moment did win first up, yes, and I think she's a very consistent horse and keeps finding ways to win. But at the same time, she's got bigger things in mind. I don't think that she would be, really screwed down second up, even though she did win first up. So wouldn't surprise me if London's Image is able to cause a bit of an upset there on Saturday.
And she'll be second up, Treasure of the Moment. She's off to the Oaks in Sydney after this, or an Oaks campaign in Sydney. So, yeah, she just might get Treasure of the Moment at the right time, London's Image. But Two Darn Lizzie looks like she's the only place in that race. But I reckon Ryan Hill should be so proud with the way that she presented and how she raced there last Friday night at the Valley. And the last one, is there a good race in El Safina this campaign? It's fair to say that Grant Williams, when we had a chat to him on the Western Whip Around there on Monday at Oakland's Junction at the English Premier Sales, and when I asked him about El Safina, it's fair to say he was frustrated with the ride there by Karen McAvoy. And he's weighing up between, I think, Blake Shin and William Pike to ride this mare at her next start. In your eyes, is there a good race in her?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look, that first up win by Amelia's Jewel, look, if J-Mac had gone any slower on her, she would have gone back in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a complete forgive for anything else back in the field. So for me, it's just another barrier trial. It's the way that I'm looking at it for Alsafina. And I think we've seen that probably her last couple of preparations, although she has won first up in the past, she's certainly improved with her preparation as she's got over a little bit more distance and deeper into her prep. So look, Blake Shin obviously has ridden her previously and won on her. So I think that would be a great pairing if they're able to team up. But as well, with her, I think she's probably more equipped on what you'd call, genuine good surfaces as well. So we'll wait and see what races she finds, but I wouldn't be too disappointed from what I saw first up.
Good on you, Pete. Wednesdays in the West coming up tomorrow afternoon on 7+ and also on SEN track. So what time does it start tomorrow? Is it 4:30 or 5 o'clock Eastern Daylight Savings Time? I think it's 4:30. 4:30.
Yes.
4:30 it starts. So looking forward to it. A lot of banter, a lot of fun, and hopefully a few winners, Pete.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Me and Miles were obviously already done the form and looking forward to the meeting. So we'll see what we can get out of 7 races there at Belmont.
Go and get it, mate. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Gareth.
She is clearly my favourite driver in Western Australia these days, Deni Roberts, and she joins us on the line here after winning the Pinjarra Cup aboard or behind Minstrel yesterday. Deni, welcome back to the Best from the West here on SEN Track.
Good afternoon, Gareth. How are you?
Hi, very well. What about Minstrel? He was expected to win, but he was awesome yesterday.
Yeah, no, what a return. We, behind the scenes, we're all pretty confident. His work has been really good. He only had the short break, so he was probably a lot more forward where we started with him. But, he had to do it the tradesman's way, as he's used to doing. But, to pull away from the field like that and go to the line with ease was, pretty exciting heading into the Nullarbor.
I don't think Quinny could even sit in a breeze and win a cup like that.
Probably different horses there, Gareth.
Yes, just a little. I'm only stirring scene. You don't ring me. But it is exciting. Obviously, the Nullarbor will be his main aim, along with the Fremantle Cup. So has he gone to a new level, dare I ask, after that experience? Sometimes when they travel interstate and they're tough racing during the Inter-Dominion Carnival, could just be the making of him in a way.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's made him a seasoned professional for sure. Very different racing and what he's not used to, and I'm hoping it's got him a bit more speed. He's come back in tip-top order, and his track work run before the Cup, Sky said it was the best he'd ever felt, even before the Pinjarra Cup. So, it looks like it has. Didn't think he could really improve much on what he was doing, but, hopefully we'll see the absolute best of him this time.
Geez, he's a sport. Is he another one for Greg and Sky Bond that we don't know too much about? Is he one of yours?
Yeah, he is.
He's $4.20 with Tab Touch for the Nullarbor. What can you tell us, Deni?
Yeah, he's very short. Obviously, he raced in the New Zealand Cup. He's got free-for-all form over there. He hasn't met the likes of the free-for-all grade in WA. He was just probably making his way through the grades. But he's a very talented horse. He's probably got a lot more high speed than Minstrel, and he's got a bit of toughness about him too. So he was targeting for the Pinjarra Cup, but we had a little setback with him, nothing too serious. But probably later in the month we'll see him first up. Beautiful,
and he'll be ready for the Nullarbor. And do you drive him or Minstrel? Do you have to commit because you can't be obviously, which one's Greg and Sky Bond taking with their slot? Has that been announced yet?
No, it hasn't been announced.
Can you give us an exclusive, Deni, please?
I would say Minstrel would be our number one seed at the moment, but obviously we don't have to make that decision till a week out. So, time will tell, and we'll see how they're both tracking heading into it. But I think while Minstrel's in this vein of form, I think he's probably the deserving spot at the moment.
So, geez, he's the sport at 440. Does that surprise you he's in front of Minstrel with the market?
Yeah, it surprised me he was in front of Minstrel just because he hasn't been tested, I guess, at that top level here. But I've got no doubt that he'll definitely go with them. So, I can see why he's short, but he's probably going to be a little bit of an underdog.
I was stirring senior. Gary Hall Senior was at Albion Park when I was there for the Ultimate Driver Championship, and I made sure I interviewed Jason Grimson and so he could hear him on loudspeaker. And Grimo just basically, he didn't disrespect the WA horses, but he just said that Swayze would sit outside of them and go bang. What's your response to all of that ahead of a Nullarbor?
I'm not one to go back on that.
Oh,
Gareth.
come on, Deni.
I-
Got to fly the flag for WA. You can't have Jason Grimson slagging you off.
No, it's not the way I roll. Gareth. They can say whatever they
Are
like.
you upset or
I'll-
upsetting your boyfriend, of course, who works for Jason?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just like to do my talking out on the
Oh,
track.
I love it, Deni. Well, you're no good if we want to try and market this race. So, well, we might have to get Greg on. But it's going to be exciting to have like Don Hugo and Swayze high up in the market for the Miracle Mile, all coming to WA. I think it's going to be one of the best races Western Australia's seen for quite some time, I reckon, Deni.
Yeah, definitely. I think the horses that have travelled over have been more of that sprint capacity. We haven't had the strength of the Don Hugos and the Swayzes to come over here and can probably handle our style of racing. So, with good draws, yeah, they're going to be very hard to beat.
How many winners tonight for us at Gloucester Park?
She's got 2 for Greg and Sky tonight. They're both pretty good chances, got awkward draws, but hopefully their ability will get them over the line tonight.
You know, Cinch, we own a horse, Giddy Up Warrior. We have a horse with Cinch. Her name's Cinch. We leased her when at after the Easter sales, their English Easter sales a few years back. She's with Lindsay Park. All of the SEN family are in her. And even I was the one that organised the lease, and usually I'm the biggest jinx, as you know, Deni, and she's turned out pretty good. She won a Tasmanian Oaks. She'll be going towards an Australasian Oaks at Morphettville, and her name's Cinch. So we'll be all aboard the Cinch train there tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope she can follow in her footsteps.
Yes.
She's a little bit green. But her first up run was pretty good, and she's got an easier field tonight. So, yeah, hopefully she can get her first win.
Yeah, out of no liability, which says it all, basically. Good on you, Deni. Thanks very much for your time, and go and get them tonight, and good luck there in the Nullarbor going forward.
Thanks, Gareth.
There's Deni Roberts there. Great to catch up with Deni. She is a star. I reckon she'll represent, I don't know who she'll represent, but I reckon she might get a slot in the Ultimate Drivers Champion next year. Miles Pfitzner joins us, the Magic Man, because Wednesdays in the West is on again tomorrow afternoon, and Milo is he loves the West, of course. We all know that, and he joins us now. G'day, Milo.
Hello, G-Man.
You excited?
Mate, I'm pumped. I mean, so much for filling in for the show last week, but
It was a lot of
such a
fun.
good job. Mate, I'm now a bit nervy going into this because I don't really have a face for TV. So you looked $1 million sitting there with Pete, so I'm a little bit nervous going into tomorrow night.
No, you have a lot of fun. It'll suit you down to the ground because it's sort of like you just have a bit of a banter and just give it have a bit of, sometimes you can debate certain things, reminisce about your favourite WA horses, talk about the upcoming races. So, and Pete's such a cool, laid-back customer and had some banter with the boys on track. It said, we all know that you love your WA racing. So I don't know any other way you'd rather spend a Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, mate, I'm really looking forward to it. I did catch a bit of your show last week, and with the boys on track and with some replays that we get to go through. And look, Pete's such a great analyst that we can sit down and really pick the eyes out of it, have a bit of fun, get an idea from the pre-parade from a few of them, and if that's the way you go. But, yeah, looking forward to a fair bit of banter. And, look, we've made the run continue, Gareth. I think I've gone 10 from my last 12 best bets in WA. So, hopefully, no pressure on myself.
No.
But hopefully we can find a few more winners tomorrow.
You'll be flying. Even my best value bet got up last week. That's how blessed we are. Then it seems at SC and Track with WA racing, because that never happens. But it'll be. Sorry, go. Have you got what's your best tomorrow?
Look, I think it's going to be Masterly Race 3. I had to sort of go pre-markets to get the replays in, but I'm thinking Masterly. I think that's in about race 3 is going to be close to the best. But like I try to tell everyone, it's the best punting in any jurisdiction anywhere in Australia.
And it's not just the gallops you talk about. You touch on the greyhounds and the harness as well. We just had Deni Roberts on the Best from the West. She's a superstar. And there's some great harness racing coming up, especially with the trilogy, the Sandgroper and the Nullarbor and the Quokka. It's going to be some weekend. We'll be there, I think, in April as well. So I'm looking forward to getting there for the trilogy. A lot of fun. I think we were there one year, weren't we? We were there when we were represented by Kementari.
Kementari.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we were there and we went to the Trots the night before and had a great night there and ended up with Grant Williams at the top and still pretty late and then realised we had to be out at the track pretty early the next day.
Yes, love it. Hey, Milo, can't wait for you and Pete to get the job done there tomorrow afternoon. I'll be watching on 7 Plus and listening on SEN Track as well if you can't get to a TV. So we appreciate your time here on the Best from the West and go and get them tomorrow.
Anytime, mate. Looking forward to the show of yours tomorrow morning, too.
There's the magic man. That is the Best from the West. All thanks to Racing WA. Tune into Racing WA TV on 7 Plus, your ultimate destination for everything racing in the West. I'll be back tomorrow morning for Giddy Up from 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Have a great day.